Afternoon all. So yesterday's poll winner was lasagna or lasagne. So I've done a little bit of preparation so I don't bore you with a massively long video. So I've got one diced white onion, I've got 3 cloves of garlic finely chopped, I've got 1 large carrot chopped, 400 grams of minced beef, and then for our sauce, good old chef's cheap, bit of tomato ketchup,
not a lot of it,
passata, some red wine, vinegar, mixed herbs, a stock cube, and some sugar. So I've got a pan on the stove, nice and hot. So we are going to start cooking our minced beef off. My lovely camera lady will follow me over. So we are going to start to brown our mince. The video will be in a couple of parts because this will need to cook down for about an hour. I need to make the white sauce as well, and then obviously we need to build the lasagna also. So I'm going to break the mince down and get that browning. About 2 teaspoons of sunflower oil, tablespoons rather. Chop this up a little bit. This will make a lasagna that will feed 4 to 6 people depending how big a portion size you want. Everything over, sorry. Make sure we get all the goodness off the bottom. We'll do that with the deglaze anyway. That's all starting to brown off. So to that, we're going to add all of our veggies. It's a good way of getting vegetables into the kid, or kids in our situation. And we'll just let that cook down for about 5 minutes before we add any of our other stuff. And I'll see you in a minute. So that's now had about 5 minutes of just softening down with nothing else in there. So it's just cooking out with the juices of the beef, all softening ever so slightly. So we're going to go in with all our goods now. So about 100 ml of red wine. Let that have a bubble on its own first so we can just boil off the alcohol. Make sure we scrape the bottom, get off any nice caramelised bits. If you don't drink alcohol or you don't want alcohol in your food, you don't have to put the red wine in. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of ketchup just to help the sauce. I haven't got 5 hours to do a really slow simmer, so we're just cheating. About a teaspoon of mixed herbs. And we're going to go in with 400 grams of passata. And what I do is I will fill this carton with water halfway, give it a swish. Add a bit more moisture because you want it to cook down. Give that a stir. In the meantime, turn the cooker down. Doesn't look overly appealing now, but in an hour or so that will look lovely.
It smells nice.
It does smell nice. 1 beef stock cube, just to give it a bit of a beefy undernote. If you've got beef stock, that's great. I don't, so I have oxo cubes. About a tablespoon of vinegar. Tablespoon of sugar. So there we have what is our beef ragu, which is what we're going to layer up the lasagna with. So going to let that simmer now with a lid slightly ajar. Best thing to do is to leave your spoon in, put the lid on top, so you do have some space for some evaporation to incur, because we do want it to thicken, but we don't want it to be bone dry. So I will see you in about 40 minutes time, where we'll make the bechamel sauce that we'll put on top, and then we'll put the lasagna together. Right, so we're about 40 minutes in, so you can see the beef ragu is really starting to thicken up now. We're going to cook that out for about another 10-15 minutes. So in the meantime, I've got 40 grams of butter. I'm going to add 40 grams of flour. This is to make our white sauce to top the bechamel. So the consistency of wet sand. And then, as always, the trick here is to make sure you cook this roux out first. Just keep it moving, give it a spread out. So we're just cooking the flour out first, which means you spend less time simmering the sauce to get rid of that floury taste. The kids getting on as usual. So to this roux, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So we're going to cheat with making our bechamel here. And then
beautiful.
Garlic. And a little tiny bit of garlic granules. Not cheating.
Do they have to be in there?
Don't have to, it just adds a nice bit of flavour. Because usually when you would do your bechamel, you'd have your milk simmering with an onion studded with cloves and a bit of nutmeg in it. So we're cheating again, so just add your milk bit by bit. So you will need approximately 400 mils of milk.
Stop it.
Just going to cook this out.
Whoa. Stop fighting, please.
So you see that's thickened up.
What have you got in there, Charlie?
No.
What's in there?
Blue.
We're going to keep adding our milk bit by bit so we get this sorted. Then I've grated about 200 grams of mature cheddar. So we're going to put half in the sauce and half on top of the lasagna. Other cheeses are available. The Italians will probably use something like a pecorino or a young parmesan that's soft rather than hard.
Hi.
Busy playing in their den today, hence it's just me.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Charlie, say hello to the camera.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Mama. That's like camera.
How doing?
Making dinner, Charlie. Making lasagna. Can you say lasagna?
Hiya.
And this, yeah, it's funny. And this is, can you say bechamel?
Who's that?
It's a spoon.
Charlie, say bechamel.
Bechamel.
Good
Yeah,
girl.
good girl.
Say lasagna.
Hiya.
Good girl. Close enough.
Alright, we're nearly there.
Mama.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Sorry for the long silence, it's just one of these processes, but I thought I'd show you rather than just cut into the finished product and someone saying, "Oi, what did you do?" So, I know it's still simmering away. We'll notice you do get some of the fats does separate in sort of like the edges. I will just get a bit of kitchen roll in a bit and just dab that fat out so it's not too oily. Right, so there's our lovely sauce. Add half of the cheese to that. Save a good helping to go on top. Stir that in, and that's our Mornay sauce. The bechamel becomes a Mornay, and that's what's going to go on top of our lasagna. And some people will frown at me for this, most importantly the Italians. But what I like to do is, as I lay layers of minced meat, I like to just drizzle a little bit of bechamel in the layers, so you just get a hint of creaminess through the lasagna. That's just my take on it. Right, so we're there now. So next time we'll cut back. It will be everything ready, and we'll start building the lasagna. So our ragou's ready, our white sauce is ready. Here's my lasagna dish. So let's build it up. So start with some mincemeat on the bottom. That's not a bird in the background. It's my daughter. My children are loopy.
She is talking to the birds though.
Okay. So there's our beef.
I just film
Yep, layer of beef.
that layer.
And then what I just like to do is just a little drizzle on each layer. And then, oh, nice broken piece. How often lasagna sheets are actually in one piece. Just snap the corners off so they fit. Should just have enough. Snap that corner off so it fits. Lovely jubbly. And then I've got this not broken one. Crank that down. Waste not, want not. Shove it in there. There's our first layer. Back in with the mincemeat on top of that. You can make the meat layers as thick or as thin as you want. If you want a lot of pasta, we'll probably get about 4 layers with ours. And that. There we go. Again, mincemeat. Dave's trampy trick. Just a little bit of so just as it cooks, it just sort of just adds a bit of depth.
Mixes in with the mince.
Yeah, mixes in, and the missus likes it, so I must be doing something right. So, and then trying to break a lasagna sheet in half lengthways never works. Hey ho. This is for at home, so I don't really care. So we've kind of got our layer. Back again with the mincemeat. we go. Just a tiny drizzle of the sauce. Do there. If any Italians are watching, I do apologise. Typical English bastardising things. So as you go up dish, it is slightly wider as you go up. So I do like pasta to be all the way through. Get that in there. Use up all your crap bits, doesn't matter. They'll all cook. And the good thing is with everything being hot here as well, you can get that straight in the oven and that'll be done in about 40 minutes. And then our final layer of beef. Go.
From here it just looks like a bowl of mince. Can't see any lasagna.
Drizzle, drizzle. Our final layer of pasta. We need to put lasagna sheets on our shopping list.
Yep.
Bosh. Bosh. Some skinny bits for down the middle. Don't want to be cheating out of a bit of pasta when you're cutting them. Lovely jobblinis. And then just on the top, final layer is our white sauce. What's left? Get it all in there. Get it in. Like that. Remember I said silicone spoon is the way forward. Stops that wastage. Makes all the difference. And then we're just going to work that to the edges. Make sure all the pasta gets a covering. That's important because the pasta will cook via the moisture from your sauces. So especially on the top layer, you want to make sure it's all covered so the pasta has a good chance to cook. So I've preheated the oven to about 170 degrees. Final layer of decadence and flavour. And it will be golden brown goodness by the time it's finished cooking. Here's our final bit of grated cheese. So you've got the cheese in the sauce, you've got the cheese on top. That's why I said to not put it all in, because you want some to go nice and brown in the oven. And as cheese cooks in the oven and browns and caramelizes, it just changes the flavour as well. And then we have it. We have Dave's lasagna. So I'm going to pop that in the oven now. So again, we'll see you in about 45 minutes when this bad boy is cooked and golden brown in the oven. We're going to serve ours with a garlic baguette that we got in the freezer. Yep, so I'll see you in 40 minutes. And there we have, fresh from the oven, a nice freshly cooked lasagna. Nice and easy. If you get stuck, give us a shout. Always here to help. If you do the recipe, make sure you post a picture. Enjoy.